Today on a Dr. Phil exclusive.
The tragic death of former Bachelor contestant Gia Alaman.
The shocking Bachelorette suicide.
Did you fall in love with her on The Bachelor?
Yes. I never fell out.
What did this do to you when you realized she was gone?
New details.
Let's go to that actual day. Did she tell you that Ryan said he didn't love her?
The exclusive interview with Gia's mother.
She did it while I was on the phone. I heard her last breath.
What were the last words you heard her say?
Tragic beauty. The exclusive story of a Bachelorette suicide.
Gia Alaman captured the hearts of viewers all across America as the bubbly, sweet-natured New Yorker who fought for a shot at true love and a rose on season 14 of ABC's hit reality show, The Bachelor.
Gia. Gia, will you accept this rose?
I'm in like a bubble right now. It's like this has always been my dream to come to Napa Valley. I can't believe it, and I'm in a castle right now, so it's a pretty great feeling. Jake is very perfect, so I haven't found any flaws yet.
Gia went on to star on 2 seasons of ABC's spin-off show, Bachelor Pad. Her TV and modeling career were taking off, and she had finally found love with a handsome professional athlete. On the outside, Gia seemed to have it all: beauty, brains, personality, success, and at last, the missing piece of the puzzle, love. Then, seemingly out of the blue, huge headlines broke. Every newspaper, magazine, and blog was reporting the shocking news. Gia was in the hospital on life support battling a mysterious and, quote, serious emergency medical event. 2 days later, Gia tragically passed away. She was just 29 years old. News of Gia's sudden death came as a complete shock, but the details that began to emerge after her death were even more unbelievable. Gia had taken her own life.
Lots of questions today about the tragic death of former Bachelor contestant Gia Alaman. Police say the stunning beauty took her own life by hanging herself.
She was so young, so beautiful. So what drove Gia to reportedly end her own life?
The 29-year-old worked as a model and finished 3rd on season 14 of The Bachelor in 2009. Alaman's rep specified that the reality TV star had been put on life support Monday evening and was withdrawn Wednesday afternoon after losing brain and organ function.
We are now learning that 29-year-old Gia Alaman was heartbroken after an epic fight with her boyfriend when he reportedly told her, "I don't love you anymore."
Friends say Gia was devastated at the prospect of yet another failed romance. It was just too much to bear. She emailed friends to say farewell, then hanged herself.
And I need you to pump my chest harder than 30 times. 30 times.
The suicide is on the cover of the new Us Weekly. The magazine reports that when Ryan Anderson discovered Gia 30 minutes later, he screamed, "Why, Gia, why?"
Everyone is asking why. What led this beautiful young daughter, friend, and budding star to end her life in such an unthinkable way? In an exclusive interview, Gia's mother, who was on the phone with her daughter when she took her life, speaks out for the first time about her daughter's final days and the moment she had to make the decision to take her only daughter, her baby girl, off of life support. You may notice that we have no audience for today's show. Donna has just lost her daughter, and her grief is very fresh. She just didn't feel like she had the strength to speak out for the first time in front of anyone but me. Gia's mom, Donna Micheletti, joins us now. Donna, Dr. Phil, I am so sorry for your loss.
Oh, thank you.
Let me tell you what our goal is here today. I want to make sure everybody knows who this beautiful young woman was in this world. How did she decide to get involved in The Bachelor to begin with?
A hard breakup, a very bad breakup.
So she had
Similar,
loved and lost.
She loved and lost.
It takes me a while to get over people, and it takes me a while to get myself back out there, but I'm doing it. I have good friends and good family.
It took her a long time to get over him. And then, you know, her friend said, why don't you go on The Bachelor? And that was, believe it or not, the best thing for her. When she came home, and I picked her up at the airport, I go to her, you fell in love with yourself. I could see it in your face. I says, you're a different person. You're confident. I could see it. She goes, yeah, I did. And she was so happy.
Until that time, did she feel like she had to be in a relationship? She had to have a man to be okay?
No, just when she had one, she felt like she gave 150%. She always, I told her, would you stop? You know, you're dropping your own career to take care of them. It's got to be about you, too.
I've always said you should never invest more in a relationship than you can afford to lose. It sounds like she invested everything.
She gave her whole heart. She'd always have such a big heart for everybody, but not for herself.
I want to honor your daughter's memory.
She asked me that, please tell my story 10 minutes before she did it.
Yeah. What did she say about that?
Tell my story, Mommy. Because she called me that night.
Right.
And we were on the phone. She was not depressed. Sometimes when she was that time of the month, she'd get insecure and go to a dark spot, and she'd feel like nobody cared, and she would just snowball. And I would tell her, come on, you know, this is not real. This person does love you. This, not this. And she'd look for excuses in people to find fault and push them away because she just got so fearful. Because she was always afraid of abandonment.
And she would do that on a regular basis?
No. Once in a while, not all the time. No,
was it always timed to that time of the month?
Not bad like this one. Not bad like that. Maybe 3 times in her life, really bad.
Right.
But this blew me away. I did not expect this. I figured I could talk to her like I always do, and I could maybe make her understand and see. And she booked my flight down there while I was on the phone with her. Mommy, can you come tomorrow? And I need a hug. I says, of course, I'll be there. I'll book my flight right now while we're on the phone, because I knew she was upset. And before I could get it even open, she had booked it. She did it while I was on the phone.
What was the first thing she said to you that made you know this was one of those times that she was in that dark place?
I'm not happy. I can't go on with this anymore. I says, gee, you'll be fine. We'll work through this like we always do. She believes what she was thinking, but it really wasn't true.
Right.
Because I know her boyfriend very well. I know her life. I just know her so well. And all she wanted to talk about was how much she loves me and how much she loved my mom. And she apologized that she might not have been good to us. And I said, wait a minute.
Was during this time that she booked you a flight to come to her?
Yes.
When she did that, was she saying book a flight and come here because she knew she was going to be gone, or because she wanted you to be there with her?
I didn't know it at the time. I figured, she said, Mommy, I just want a hug. But replaying it in my mind that whole night, she knew. Because she had asked me something that I thought was odd. She says, Mommy, you want to bring somebody down with you to keep you company? I says, no. Why would I do that? I never do. I'd like to spend my time just you. I'm selfish.
But do you think she knew, as she was saying that, what she planned to do?
Yes, because she never asked me that. And it didn't hit me because I was just so concerned about talking to her that I missed that until after the fact.
Right.
At that point, that day, with how she felt with her menstrual cycle, she could not see clearly. And I knew that happened to her, and I was trying to talk to her and trying to be careful what I say because I didn't want to upset her more. And I was nervous.
So you're walking a tightrope, obviously.
Yes.
But you're saying that this menstrual cycle took such a powerful hold on her that she would turn so much.
Like night and day. It would come out of nowhere. All of a sudden, something would click in there, and she would say, this isn't right. He doesn't love me. He's not this. He's not that. Because of her insecurities inside herself. And I used to tell her that they're not your father. They do love you. You're just not seeing it.
When you had seen this pattern at that time of the month before, this went beyond normal down mood that some people might have. Sometimes for her, it would get very dark.
There was a last conversation she had, and I think that started right after Mother's Day. She had a falling out with her father.
Right.
Really badly. And she was devastated.
What did she say about it?
He told her she was the idiot. She was too stupid. And that you're no daughter of mine, and don't call me for Father's Day and lose my number. That was the beginning of her end.
So you think she felt abandoned by him at that point? Was that, in your opinion, the first link in this chain?
I think it just ate her up. And then she was picking on her boyfriend. And she'll look at anything at that point to fight.
Yeah.
Because now she's insecure with that, and she's going to think they're going to do it to her too.
Have you talked to her father since this happened?
I told him I blamed him. I told him it's your fault. You're the reason.
I read where he had said in an interview, I wish I could take it back, it's too late. If she were still here, I would tell her I'm sorry, I love her, and she will always be my rainbow.
You want to apologize? Fine, apologize. If it's gonna make you feel better, good for you. Because bottom line, it's not making me feel better, your apology. You took my baby.
With these radical changes in personality, is that fair to say that during this time she'd sometimes have radical changes in her personality?
Yeah.
Did she ever see anyone for that? Was she ever
I've tried.
Diagnosed or treated or medicated?
I took her to quite a few places over the years, many times. And after one visit, 2 visits, that's it, she wouldn't go back, and she was an adult. And I can't do it, I could take you, but I can't force you.
I've read that she had a big blow up with Ryan.
Yes, she did.
That
day, yes, they did.
Did she tell you that Ryan said he didn't love her?
Coming up, when we come back.
Take me through the moment that you realized this call had taken a very bad turn.
Donna shares the details of the last conversation she had with her daughter.
There was nothing to say, a dead silence. And I'm going, G, wake up. And there was nothing there.
And later, Bachelor star Jake Pavelka reveals for the first time his true feelings for Gia.
You said, I stayed out of Gia and Ryan's way, but always held hope that one day I would end up with Gia. Did you fall in love with her on The Bachelor?
We now return to Dr. Phil's exclusive interview with the mother of Bachelorette beauty Gia Alamand.
I've read that she had a big blow up with Ryan.
Yes, she did.
That
day, yes, they did.
And was this characteristic of what she would do at times?
Yes, oh, definitely. She's done it a few times, but she's never done this.
Yeah. Oh. So at this point, she's in a relationship with someone that she loves and loves her.
They were going to get engaged.
So what would happen in this relationship then? She would get insecure about him?
Yeah, because she was insecure.
And accuse him?
Yeah. She would think that he didn't love her. And he just loved her.
You said that before she went on The Bachelor that she had a really hard breakup. Did she ever have suicidal thoughts or even talk about it or threats?
She'd have it as a cry for attention, not to actually do it. Like, okay, I'll take some pills and I'll fall asleep. I think it was twice. I just overreacted. Mom, I'm a nervous wreck. I took her to the hospital.
Come on, you're a mom.
Yeah, I took her to the hospital. She goes, I was fine. I just wanted to sleep. I just wanted to get a night's sleep, so I took some pills.
So when you took her,
don't scare me.
But did she threaten you with suicide before?
No. She would say, she'd get really sad and say, I can't take this and I can't take this. This time, I was expecting the same thing. Maybe because she's so far from me, I didn't see any signs. I didn't hear it in her. I knew she was struggling, a little bit that day. And I was talking to her a lot. Well, maybe I'll come back to New York. And I'll open a pure bar studio, and I'll do the yoke. And she was excited, thinking that maybe she'll leave him and come back. Because he don't love me, so I'm going to leave him. But she was positive.
Well, let's talk about her relationship with Ryan. You said it was very positive. They loved each other. Engagement was on the horizon. And then she goes into this dark phase. Did she tell you that Ryan said he didn't love her?
No, she didn't say that.
Okay, what did she say?
She just said, I'm just so tired of being hurt. I can't do this anymore. She just said, I'm tired, Mommy. And after the fact, I realized she was saying goodbye to me. And that's the hardest phone call I ever had to have in my life. Because I was trying to tell her, I love you too, honey. You've been my whole sunshine. You're my little princess. We can do it together. We can make it. I really didn't think that she would have did that with me. And then she did it with me while I was talking to her. I didn't know.
Of course not. Why do you suppose she did this on the phone with you?
Because I'm the closest person in the world to her, and she didn't want to be alone when she left this world. So she wanted Mommy to be there, I guess. I mean, it destroys me, but if it made her feel better, that's just fine. I don't mind dealing with this because I know I don't have any regrets, but we had our conversation. I mean, it sounds horrible. We did have our last conversation, and we loved very much, and that's all she really wanted to talk about.
Take me through the moment that you realized this call had taken a very bad turn. What happened?
I was talking to her, and I thought maybe, okay, she took a pill or two because I couldn't understand her anymore. And it wasn't because I couldn't understand her, it was because she did it. And she was gone. And I'm calling her, and there was nothing. It's like a dead silence. And I'm going, G, wake up. Don't go to sleep. I'll be there in 12 hours. Wake up. And there was nothing there, and I'm freaking out. And I'm telling my husband, we gotta get somebody over there. And we're texting Ryan.
So you're talking to her on the phone, and you're talking about business.
I don't know.
And she's telling you that she loves you.
She told me she loved me before we talked about the business. I took it off of that, and I focused it other ways.
Very smart, by the way. You're very wise to talk about, let's talk about future-oriented things. You said you couldn't understand her?
She wasn't talking. It was when she was actually doing it. I thought she was just mumbling.
You thought she was mumbling. But in fact, she was actually...
I heard her last breath. And I thought it was just mumbling. I couldn't understand her. It was incoherent. I didn't know what it was until after the fact.
How long did you try to talk to her without a response?
I stayed on for like almost 10 minutes with her, and then the phone got, I didn't want to hang it up. And we're trying the other phones to call Ryan and start holding on the cell phone. I did nothing, there was nothing there. I didn't want to hang it up, and it just got disconnected. And that was it. It was over.
What were the last words you heard her say?
We now return to Dr. Phil's exclusive interview with the mother of Bachelorette beauty Gia Alamand.
What were the last words you heard her say?
I think it's a good idea, Mom, the business. And all she wanted me to do was come down and give her a hug. And I said, I'm coming. You know I'm coming. She knows, she calls. I drop everything. I always ran. But it was so far away, I couldn't get there.
When you heard what at first you thought was mumbling, you now know was her struggling for breath.
Yes.
Were you able to acknowledge to yourself what had happened? Did you realize at that point when that phone went silent?
Not dead, no. Not till the next day.
You just thought she had passed out or something?
Not until I got there and it was in the hospital. Until Ryan called me, I didn't, I knew what she did when he told me, but I didn't know how. I didn't know where. I don't want to know that.
Okay.
I have to be good because I have another child. I got to be strong for him.
Sure. And I'm certainly not going to share any details with you that I've learned, so don't be afraid. I'm going to say something. Take me through the next moment that you saw her. It was at the hospital?
Yeah.
And?
She was hooked up to life support.
And?
She looked beautiful. She looked just like herself. I couldn't believe how she could still look that good.
When you walked in that door, Did you still have hope that she was going to recover? Or
I was hoping, but I knew, I wouldn't let her live like that because she's not alive. She was gone.
as beautiful as she looked, you could see that she had crossed the line?
And she's come to me already.
Tell me about that.
Oh my gosh. The first time was that Saturday night. Ryan and I were talking on the phone, and all of a sudden I just got these goosebumps on my arms and my legs were burning, and I could just feel her presence and that she was happy. And then the next thing was that night I laid down, I closed my eyes, and within 10 minutes I woke my husband up and told him I saw her. She came to me in it was a blue sky with a white cloud, and in the middle of it was like sheer and like a gold star. And then, it's like, and I knew it was her. She's like, it's okay, I'm happy. I'm finally happy.
I've been doing this for 35 years, and this has such an unusual characteristic to it in her wanting to be with you in that last moment of her life. I mean, it's like such a mixed blessing. It's horrible that she made that decision, but you must find some comfort in knowing that of everyone in this world, she wanted to spend that last moment with you.
Yes, I do. We were best friends.
Are you beating yourself up at all about this? I mean,
No,
you
I'm
had to
not.
make the decision to take her off the life support.
I knew she wouldn't want to be that way.
Was that a difficult decision?
No. It sounds horrible, but I knew she was already gone. Her vessel, her spirit, her soul is not there anymore.
Was this a spur-of-the-moment decision on her part, or do
I
you
really
think
think
she
so.
planned it?
I think we were talking, and then I think when she called me, she already knew. But before that, I don't think so, because she had so much to do. She was planning so many things. We were talking about the business. We were talking about this. We were talking about that.
So in retrospect, this was a premeditated goodbye call.
I think so.
So when she picked up the phone and dialed it, things had to already be in motion.
I think so.
Are you mad at her?
Coming up,
What was she afraid of?
Being rejected, that she wasn't loved. She was afraid, I gotta end it with Ryan before he does it to me. I gotta destroy this relationship before it destroys me.
and later,
Gia really understood me. I can't tell you how lucky I feel that I knew her, but I wish it was not for such a short time because I've never met anybody like her.
we now return to Dr. Phil's exclusive interview with the mother of Bachelorette beauty Gia Alamand.
Are you mad at her?
I'm really mad at her that she did this for no reason. I love her so much that I don't ever get mad at her, but it's a natural emotion to be angry that you're so stupid. That wasn't the answer. You should have listened. I told you I'll be there in 12 hours.
Well, I have to tell you, if she had gotten through that moment, if she had waited for you to get there, we wouldn't be sitting here right now.
No, we would not. My girl would be happy. It would have been over. Those feelings of the fear would have been gone.
What was she afraid of?
Being rejected. She was afraid, I gotta end it with Ryan before he does it to me. I gotta destroy this relationship before it destroys me.
So get him before he gets me.
Exactly.
I gotta take the initiative.
And that's why she would get so violently nasty, and that's why she caused that fight that day.
She left you a note.
I know. I haven't seen it. The police have it.
Will you read that note?
Yes. And I will treasure it.
Will you go?
I've been there already. In her place. This was her ring Ryan gave her for Valentine's Day.
Oh, wow.
I wear it with pride. This is her watch. This is her forever bracelet. That was precious to her.
How is Ryan handling this? Have you talked to him?
Ryan and I, we talk every day. And We want to do like a foundation, and it's in the works right now, of trying to help other girls, and maybe it'll make a difference.
As a mother that has tragically lost such a precious child here, what do you say to mothers that are out there or to young girls that are struggling right now?
Talk to your mom, talk to your best friend. Remember, try to remember in your mind what you think you're thinking, it's not real. Let them in, because that's what you're doing. You're saying, you're feeling that you don't have anybody, but you're pushing them all away.
And that's what Gia did. She was pushing away
She wouldn't reach
what
out.
she needed most.
Exactly.
Let me be selfish on your behalf for a minute. Everything you're experiencing right now, some fears, that is not only a normal, but your relationship with Gia seems to have changed, not ended. It has become a spiritual relationship. But I'll tell you what, you were her best friend. You were who she chose to be with in that final moment.
I feel honored that I'm the one she trusted in the most.
You are a very strong and courageous woman. Talking about her story, so proud to meet you and so sorry for the circumstance.
Oh, me too.
I wish it was anything but
me
this.
too.
God bless you.
Thank you.
Next, Bachelor star Jake Pavelka speaks for the first time about his private relationship with the troubled reality star and the big change he noticed in Gia in recent years.
Coming up.
Why did you do this? Why? You were gone in 60 seconds after you came off that banister. Now I have to deal with it for 20 years? I'm going to be 70 years old and I'm still going to think about this.
The exclusive story of a Bachelorette suicide continues.
Jake is such a gentleman. He is sweet and genuine and a great person with a great heart. This is like beyond a dream, and to be on a date with such an incredible man. I'm not looking at it as to win his heart. I want us to win each other's heart. I just want us to both really feel that we belong together.
Jake Pavelka starred on season 14 of ABC's reality show, The Bachelor. As the cameras rolled, Jake fell hard for Gia. Gia made it all the way to the final 3 before being eliminated. And Jake says he has been rocked to the core by her death. And today he is revealing for the first time what he wishes he had the courage to tell Gia when she was still alive.
I first met Gia on the set of The Bachelor, just smiling from ear to ear. Gia was just out of a really bad relationship and it hurt her. And was just not ready for another relationship. Gia and I, after the show, continued to be really great friends. Our relationship just blossomed into something amazing. I mean, she truly is one of the most amazing friends I've ever had. So any romantic feelings I had after The Bachelor, I put on the shelf and started rooting for Gia and Ryan. On August 13th, I was on a layover and a media source started calling my phone, and then I got a text. And it said, Gia's in trouble. She's had a serious medical condition. She's in ICU and it's iffy. That was a very long 24-hour period. I found out that Gia died from mutual friends. I don't remember a whole lot. All I remember is just I cried for 3 days. I just want her back. Right now I'm just trying to accept that she's gone. I'm waiting for this to just turn to anger. I'm ready to get really angry with her and go, why did you do this? Why? You know, you did this you were gone in 60 seconds after you came off that banister. Now I have to deal with it for 20 years? I'm going to be 70 years old and I'm still going to think about this. If you told me 3 weeks ago that I would fly out from Texas and talk to Dr. Phil about Gia committing suicide, I wouldn't have believed it. I miss her. I miss her so much.
Jake, that is, I know it's hard to look at, it's hard to think about. What did this do to you when you realized she was gone?
I've never lost anybody close to me before. Gia really understood me. You know, we got really close after the show. I can't tell you how lucky I feel that I knew her, but I wish it was not for such a short time because I've never met anybody like her.
In the time that you knew her, did you have any sense of insecurities or things that she was dealing with? Did she ever show that side to you?
She had insecurities, you know, in some of the same things that I did, you know. She wanted to be married. She wanted to be a mommy. You know, she expressed that.
Did you fall in love with her on The Bachelor?
Yes.
No question about it.
I never fell out. But the timing was off.
You made a quote which I thought was very reflective of who she is. You said, "I stayed out of Gia and Ryan's way, but always held hope that one day I would end up with Gia."
I exercised respect for Ryan. I was not in love with Gia, but I loved Gia.
Coming up.
You asked the family if you could put something in the casket.
She didn't even know I had it.
We now return to Tragic Beauty, the exclusive story of a bachelorette suicide.
Did it help to go to the wake? Did it help get some healing started in that process?
It did. I was scared that I wasn't going to get to say goodbye. And I'm so thankful that Donna and the Micheletti family let us come and say goodbye to her.
Her mother is an amazingly courageous woman.
She's been a rock for me. And again, I just can't tell Donna how much I appreciate her just with open arms, taking me in at the viewing and talking to me about her life. That really helps.
Well, and Donna said that they invited you back to the house with the family for dinner and all, and I'm sure that had to mean everything in the world to you.
Absolutely, it did. It was just God sent.
You asked the family if you could put something in the casket. What did you send Gia off with?
She didn't even know I had it. When we were in St. Lucia, she gave me, it sounds crazy, but she gave me a little metal box of mints. And I had carried those around literally for 2 million miles. They went everywhere I went just because they were sentimental to me because she gave them to me. I just didn't know that it was going to be like this.
There with her.
It was, I guess, a way for me to feel close to her, giving them back to her.
It's so tragic that she died having the very thing that she wanted the most. She was loved by you. She was loved by Ryan. She was loved by her family. She was loved by so many people, but couldn't feel and receive it at that point in time. Mm-hmm. We ask you here today because we know you were important to her. You knew her well, and this is about honoring her life, and you have certainly come here and done that.
Thank you.
Thank you so
for
much.
having me.
We'll be right back.
Coming up, Gia's friend Penelope Jean Hayes talks about her instant rise to fame and the lessons to be learned from her tragic death.
This is everybody's daughter, everybody's sister, everybody's best friend. Why did this happen to Gia? Why didn't anybody know?
The exclusive story of a bachelorette suicide continues.
Gia's former publicist, Penelope Jean Hayes, watched her beautiful client step into the spotlight and struggle beneath its glare. She says she had no idea her lighthearted friend was battling such dark demons. Take a look.
I got the call the day that Gia went into the hospital. She was in intensive care at that time. I was in shock. I did not expect that. Gia wasn't some, odd person. This is everybody's daughter, everybody's sister, everybody's best friend. Why did this happen to Gia? Why didn't anybody know? I work with numerous people in reality television. Some people may not know how to handle the ups and downs that come with that. One day, they're just like everybody else. And then in this ethereal moment, they become set apart and special. It must be really hard to have whatever problems that you're dealing with in your life. Who are you going to talk to? Really, if there's something going on and you feel that low, if you feel suicidal, who are you going to call that you can trust that it's not going to end up in a tabloid? It's something that affects a lot more people than we probably know.
Well, Penelope, thank you so much for being here. You were very close to her in this phase of her life. Were you stunned by this?
I was.
Not a warning sign?
No. And I think that that's really the message, that this is not something that just happens to people in that box that are depressed or suicidal. This is something that could affect anyone.
Was Gia stepping away from this life at the end?
I think so. What really stands out for me was in February, I got a phone call asking if Gia wanted to cover the Oscars on the red carpet as a correspondent, covering the stars as they come in. This sounds like a dream.
Yeah.
And she turned it down. So, I mean, she was happy for the offer and just said, you know what, I'm okay. I mean, she was in New Orleans at the time, and she was happy with Ryan.
So she was focused on that relationship instead of...
She was.
What do you hope people can learn from this terrible event?
From what I see in Gia and others is I have a social face and you have a social face, and we're not really being who we are. I wish that she felt that she could have talked to more people, and she could have been a role model to all the other people that would say, you know what, I feel like that too, and I was just waiting to tell somebody.
You know, I'm in my 12th season now, and I remember the very first interview I did for this show. I said, I want to talk about the silent epidemics in America, and I want to open a dialogue about mental health and mental illness. Because when you talk about it, you realize I'm not alone. And I hope that what we're saying right now causes people to say, yeah, I do want to talk to somebody. I'm glad that Gia had you in her life. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Gia's boyfriend, NBA star Ryan Anderson, was not able to join us here today. We reached out to him and offered him an opportunity to be part of this tribute to Gia in any way that he felt comfortable. Ryan told us that he was not yet ready to speak publicly about his loss. We certainly understand and wish him the best. I really hope that today's show is a lesson and reminder to us all that sometimes people we love get in dark places. Every day, 89 people commit suicide in the United States. Listen, if the danger is imminent, call a suicide crisis line such as the National Suicide Prevention Lifeline at 1-800-273-TALK. For more information, go to drphil.com, and I want to sincerely thank my guest today, especially Donna, for having the courage to share her personal heartbreak with us in an effort to help others. Our thoughts and prayers are with you, Donna, as you navigate the tragic loss of your beautiful daughter.